Hello everyone, and today we will delve into another distressing case, that of Luz Maria Lopez. In Guatemala, a country grappling with an alarmingly high crime rate, Luz Maria's story unfolded, revealing a transition from love to violent crime. Startling statistics indicate a staggering 100 crimes per week, half of which are categorized as domestic. With nearly 70% of serious offenses remaining unresolved, the New Yorker reports that in 2009, more civilians lost their lives in Guatemala than in the Iraq war zone. In this captivating yet perilous nation, the tragic tale of Luz Maria Lopez transpired. Initially promising and romantic, it took a dark turn, culminating in her reduced existence to a mere bag of ashes discarded into a sewer manhole. The focal point of this grim narrative is an attractive young woman named Luz Maria Lopez. Her story began with romance and potential, but concluded with her becoming a handful of ashes. She fell victim to a domestic tyrant whom she persistently forgave over the years, providing numerous chances for reform. Controversies shrouded this case, offering the perpetrator potential avenues to evade accountability. Let's methodically unravel the details. Luz Maria Lopez, born Luz Maria del Rio Morales Lopez on March 17, 1995, in the quaint town of San Cristobal Verapaz, hailed from a modest family comprising Morales and Brian Lopez. As the youngest of two children, she faced a life-threatening ordeal as an infant due to intestinal obstruction. Miraculously, a complex operation saved her life, defying the odds predicted by doctors. Her mother's unwavering prayers manifested in Luz Maria's recovery, and the surgery, conducted at such a tender age, mercifully did not hinder her subsequent development. Throughout her school years, Luz Maria actively participated in sports, particularly excelling in gymnastics and athletics. She also displayed a passion for classical choreography. A creative soul, she effortlessly connected with people from diverse backgrounds, establishing friendships with ease. Not only did Luz Maria excel academically, but she also displayed a natural aptitude for various pursuits. And this, humanities. After graduating from school, Luz Maria thought about getting a higher education, and decided to enter a prestigious state university. She chose law, and later decided to specialize in criminalistics, because this direction had always aroused her genuine interest. A fateful encounter. When Luz Maria was a student, she and her mother visited a car dealership in Coban, the capital of Verapaz. It was her older brother's 25th birthday that year, and her parents and sister wanted to give him a special gift, a motorcycle which he had long dreamed of. In the showroom, they were met by a polite and very attentive young consultant who introduced himself as Jorge. He showed the buyers the whole assortment and gave some recommendations. The mother and daughter chose a model but decided to think more and consult with the head of the family. Upon leaving, they took a business card of the car dealership, and Luz Maria left her phone number for feedback. Soon, the girl received a call from Jorge, the same consultant from the salon. However, the conversation was not about the upcoming purchase, but was more of a personal nature. After that, Jorge dialed Luz Maria's number several more times before he dared to ask her out to a cafe shop. It was obvious that he liked the beautiful sultry brunette very much, but he did not know where to begin the acquaintance. It should be noted that Luz Maria also liked this handsome young man. So, in response to his proposal to meet, she consented. The guy was a year younger than her, but such a small difference in age was not an obstacle for them. Almost immediately, a romantic relationship began between them, which developed rapidly. Both felt that it was true love at first sight, and believed that a long and happy life was ahead of them. After only a few months, the couple rephrased virgin. The decision to live together was made despite the disapproval of their parents, who felt that the pace of their relationship was too hasty. Undeterred, the young couple found themselves married approximately 6 months later. Opting for an intimate celebration, they invited only their closest circle to the wedding. Interestingly, challenges surfaced on the wedding day when the chosen banquet venue encountered a hitch, threatening to disrupt the festivities. To ensure the wedding proceeded as planned, the couple had to make a significant extra payment. As for Jorge, the chosen partner of Luz Maria, scant information is available about him in the public domain. Born in 1996 in the town of Santa Catalina Latina, located in the central part of Guatemala, Jorge was the elder of 2 sons. Growing up in a family balancing on the edge of poverty alongside his brother Pablo, financial constraints meant that the boys were not indulged with luxuries during their childhood. Surprisingly, Jorge showed no aspirations for a better life, avoiding academic pursuits and neglecting to pursue a respectable job. Described as reserved, uncommunicative, and occasionally aggressive, Jorge faced challenges in managing his emotions, leading to limited interpersonal skills. Despite these obstacles, he dedicated himself to winning the affections of the girl he considered his soulmate. Once successful, he hurried to tie the knot, fearing a change of heart from his beloved. It's worth noting that Luz Maria's parents harbored suspicions about Jorge from the beginning. There was something about him that they couldn't quite put their finger on, leading to a sense of unease. Despite their concerns, they were unable to dissuade their daughter from marrying him. The marriage quickly became unhappy following the wedding. The young wife found herself pregnant, but without a university degree, securing a good job proved challenging. Employers hesitated to hire a pregnant woman with no prior experience, leaving her with no choice but to take on sporadic, low-paying jobs. During this period, her husband lost his job and showed no urgency in finding a new one. The financial strain intensified when they had a daughter named Alice. Both spouses were unemployed, struggling to afford not only rented housing but also basic necessities. Jorge proposed a temporary move to his parents' house as a solution. Despite initial resistance from Lus Maria, the couple had no alternative, considering their dire circumstances and the need to provide for their baby. Lus Maria's mother, aware of their struggles, repeatedly encouraged her to return home, but Lus Maria remained hopeful that things would improve with Jorge. One day, Lus Maria's mother visited and discovered a distressing scene at Jorge's parents' house. Lus Maria was in a deplorable state, surviving on minimal food, and facing humiliation and even physical abuse from Jorge's younger brother. Despite witnessing this, Jorge did not stand up for his wife and daughter. Convinced by her mother, Lus Maria finally agreed to leave and return to her parents' house. Jorge, however, appeared at their doorstep, promising to find a job. Lus Maria agreed to reconcile only if they could live independently, away from Jorge's parents. After Lus Maria defended her diploma, she fulfilled her dream by securing a job at the city prosecutor's office. The family's financial situation improved significantly due to her hard work and dedication. Despite this, Jorge remained unemployed, relying on Lus Maria's earnings. His jealousy and controlling behavior strained their relationship, and his reluctance to work created further tension. The story reflects Lus Maria's journey of resilience and success amidst a challenging marriage with Jorge, who struggled to find his own path and contribute to their family life. The husband imposed a ban on his wife from registering social media accounts and would become infuriated if she did so when alone at home. His behavior was no better. He created scenes without any reason, consistently strained their relationship, and habitually blamed his wife for all the family problems. Living in his parents' house, Jorge never defended his wife, and stood by passively as she suffered humiliation, insults, and sometimes physical abuse from his relatives. Jorge, considering Luz Maria as his possession, occasionally resorted to violence himself, seeing nothing wrong with. Neighbors frequently heard screams from the couple's house, witnessing visible signs of physical abuse on Luz Maria. Despite numerous attempts to leave her abusive husband, Luz Maria, influenced by Jorge's apologies, always gave him another chance, even against her parents' advice. Following a violent episode on December 15, 2020, Luz Maria, with her daughter, sought refuge at her mother's house. Jorge, appearing remorseful, promised change, job stability, and swore never to harm her again. Luz Maria, trusting him once more, returned with him to their rented apartment. In mid-January 2021, Luz Maria reported financial troubles caused by Jorge's failure to secure a job and theft of her earnings. Her mother, sympathetic to her plight, agreed to meet on January 19 with financial assistance. However, Luz Maria failed to show up and stopped responding to calls and messages, prompting us concern. When Jorge, claiming a domestic dispute, arrived at the prosecutor's office, sensed deception, and reported Luz Maria missing. A nationwide emergency search, named Isabel Claudina, was initiated, designating Jorge as the primary and only suspect. With no evidence of enemies or kidnapping, and Jorge being the last person to see her alive, suspicions naturally fell on him. Despite denying involvement, Jorge's inconsistent statements raised doubts about his credibility, particularly his failure to report Luz Maria's disappearance promptly, and the absence of efforts to contact her mother, raising suspicions about his role in the case. Discovered by municipal workers on January 22. Responding to a call about a clogged storm drain near the road, workers lifted the grate and found a large plastic bag containing charred human remains. The police were immediately notified, and forensic experts, despite the severe disfigurement due to fire, confirmed that the remains belonged to Luz Maria López. Notably, the gruesome discovery occurred on the same street where the building of the prosecutor's office, where Luz Maria worked, was located. The examination revealed that Luz Maria had been severely beaten, leading to internal hemorrhages, fractures sustained while alive, and signs of asphyxia, confirmed by deep marks on her neck indicating strangulation. Although the body was badly burned, the pathologists could establish the brutal nature of the crime. Luz Maria's parents positively identified her despite the challenges of the condition of the body. Jorge, the husband, was immediately taken into custody as the prime suspect. The motive for his heinous act was under investigation. During the inquiry, Luz Maria's mother provided a chilling audio recording anonymously sent by a neighbor who had witnessed the couple's frequent quarrels. The recording captured Luz Maria's desperate cries for help, providing crucial evidence of the abusive relationship. Despite the gravity of the recording, the witness did not contact the police or intervene during the incident. The police, unable to trace the anonymous informant, couldn't involve them in the investigation. In a public interview, urged citizens to report instances of domestic violence promptly, emphasizing the potential to save lives. The high-profile case prompted widespread public outrage, with thousands rallying across the country demanding justice for the victim. Although Jorge continued to deny his guilt, evidence mounted against him. Street CCTV footage showed the couple's car heading towards Luz Maria's workplace on the day of her disappearance, but the tinted windows prevented a clear view of the occupants. Further investigation at the couple's home revealed washed-out blood traces and drag marks, suggesting the crime occurred there. Additionally, microscopic fragments of burnt flesh were found in the trunk of the family car. The purchase of a double orthopedic mattress and its dense polyethylene wrapping played a pivotal role, as Jorge used it to conceal the burnt remains of his wife. Witnesses from the neighborhood testified to hearing Jorge's threats to kill his wife and hide her body days before the murder. The reconstructed crime scene depicted a horrifying picture of the night of January 19, 2021, when Jorge, in a fit of rage, physically assaulted Luz Maria, resulting in her tragic demise. After attempting to dispose of the body through burning, Jorge's gruesome actions were uncovered, leading to a comprehensive investigation and his subsequent arrest. The horrifying act committed by Jorge unfolded amidst the smoky and putrid stench of burning flesh and hair. Fearing detection by neighbors, he hastily extinguished the fire, wrapped the charred remains in plastic, and sought a secluded location to conceal the body, ensuring it would remain undiscovered. What made this gruesome act even more disturbing was that Jorge perpetrated these atrocities in the presence of his young daughter, who, despite her tender age of 3.5 years, witnessed the beating and the crime itself. The child's cries and screams, captured on tape, served as chilling evidence of the traumatic event. Jorge, with some knowledge of forensics gleaned from his wife's abundant textbooks, attempted to cover up the crime and establish an alibi. He disposed of his wife's body in a drainage sewer in a location devoid of lights or surveillance cameras. The next morning, he feigned normalcy by driving the familiar route to her workplace, acting as if he had dropped off Luz Maria as he did every morning. Subsequently, he initiated a simulated search for his wife, reaching out to colleagues, acquaintances, and relatives. During the trial, Jorge's defense lawyers employed delaying tactics and sought to undermine the investigation, emphasizing that the evidence and witness statements were circumstantial. They argued for a change in detention to house arrest, contending that Jorge was deeply affected by the accusations against him. However, crucial evidence emerged from Luz Maria's phone, which was in Jorge's possession. He had sent messages from her phone in an attempt to create the illusion that she was alive. Tracking the phone's movements revealed it was consistently in the same locations as Jorge's phone. The defense attempted to explain this by suggesting Jorge found his wife's phone and drove around the city searching for her. Additional evidence of Jorge's guilt included bruises and scratches on his body recorded by experts on the day of his arrest. These marks indicated resistance from the victim, with a particularly vivid scratch on Jorge's neck. The absence of epithelial particles from Jorge under the victim's fingernails, destroyed by fire, remained a point of contention. Despite these controversies, the prosecutor sought the maximum punishment for Jorge. The court proceedings faced multiple postponements due to the global COVID-19 pandemic, but in October 2022, Jorge was finally found guilty of the brutal murder of his wife. He received a 50-year prison sentence, though he maintained his innocence. Custody of little Alice was granted to her maternal grandparents, who acknowledged that their granddaughter had become the main purpose and meaning of their lives. Hello everyone, and welcome to Beyond the Crime Scene channel. Please like, share, and subscribe for this channel to stay tuned for the videos